OK, let's focus on the Premier League. The first of the live games taking place this weekend is at 12:30 at Selhurst Park. It's Palace versus Liverpool. Paddy Power now bet 11-2 Palace, 100-30 the draw, 4-9 Liverpool. I noticed Palace were available at 15-2 somewhere early in the week, so there's been a bit of money for them. Not quite sure why. Mark, what do you think will happen at Selhurst?
I think that probably because Liverpool have got this game against Man City coming up on Wednesday in the Champions League. It's straight after the internationals, which I think is a slight concern for the bigger teams. Usually, you know, they call it the FIFA virus, I think, when sort of players come back injured from international duty. But I'm going to go for Liverpool to win by exactly 1 goal. I think Palace will give them a good game, as they have done to most of the big teams this season. Lost 3-2 to United, lost 1-0 to Tottenham, recently lost 2-1 at Stamford Bridge, 3-2 to Arsenal. So there is a pattern of them competing well, not necessarily
1-0 at Anfield.
1-0 at Anfield, which I was just about to get onto that one, because I thought that was when they were playing really bad, wasn't it? A different Palace. I think that they carry much more of a threat now than what they did in that 1-0. Unfortunately for Palace, so do Liverpool, and the Salah, Firmino, Mane front three. I think everybody's seen how good that one is, and I'm not quite sure how you stop it.
OK, so Liverpool to win by a goal for Lango. Who for you, Wilco?
I'd imagine this is going to be quite a lively game as well. I was impressed with that was a good win for Palace at Huddersfield. You know, Wilf Zaha's back as well. That increases the creativity and will lift the crowd as well, because it can be, you know, it can be a great atmosphere down at Palace. And I see this for Palace as a bit of a free hit, because they've had a really tough run of fixtures, as Mark highlighted. But after this game, the remaining games, you would anticipate that they can push away from trouble, because they play Bournemouth, Brighton. I know that's got the local derby edge to it, but perhaps on paper not a terribly difficult fixture. Watford, Leicester, Stoke and West Brom before they finish. So I think this is a free hit for them. I'd expect them to be positive. And with 8 of the last 11 games at Selhurst, both teams have scored. And 8-11, I think that's a good mark on this one.
Jolly good, thank you, chaps. The other live game on Saturday, 5:30, Everton v Man City. Everton, one of the very few teams to take league points off Man City earlier in the season. Who was it? Kyle Walker got sent off.
Sent off just before half time.
That's right. Everton are 8-1 to win this one, 4-1 the draw, and 100-30 on that Man City continue with their swashbuckling gallop towards a record point total. Wilco, City for you?
Yeah, I think they'll be eyeing winning the title against United next week, and to do that, then they'll win this game. I'd expect them to be very positive. They've scored a first half goal in 12 of their 15 away matches. So although Everton they've picked up a little bit, they've won 4 of their last 6. I don't think City will hold back, and 6-4 over 1.5 Manchester City first half goals.
6-4 over 1.5. They've got to get 2, yeah?
Yeah.
In the first half?
Yeah.
OK, Mark?
Yeah, I'm going to go for the draw here, just in case City aren't as massively up for it. And I mean, Company did say how he's desperate to do it, and I'm sure that the players and the fans are just this sort of nagging doubt over the fact that the league's won effectively, and they've got this Champions League game on Wednesday. Liverpool, we just spoke about, are still in a battle for top 4, so they've got to be more focused. And I just wondered whether City would maintain that focus. So I think as far as Everton go, that they drew against Man City. You mentioned, I mean, that was a complete fluke result. They got the draw at Anfield. They've drawn with Chelsea at Goodison as well. So yeah, the draw.
By the way, just a quick one, Mark. Kyle Walker talking about him. How do you like him on the right of a back 3? Because I wouldn't have thought that would work, because, you know, all right, he defends very well, but he's quite swashbuckling and gets forward. If you take that out, but it kind of did work, didn't it, for England?
Yeah, it worked well, Bruce, actually. I was very surprised that it worked as well as it did. But he's somebody that can take the ball out of the back, which I think Southgate is desperate for. It enables him to get Trippier into the team as well. I think somebody that he really likes. And Kyle Walker's adaptability, I really was shocked by it, really, because he doesn't strike me as a centre-back, but Azpilicueta's played that role from right back to right centre-back, comes forward earlier on in the season, was putting in some lovely crosses for Morata, and I think that he sees that as an option to do as well. And what I like, there's not many things I like about Gareth Southgate, but one that I do like is that he seems to be an international manager that's looking to solve problems, and I think that the best international managers are problem solvers rather than philosophers.
What do you like about him least?
I just think he talks nonsense. This blue marginal gains and blue sky thinking and going to the
Not allowed to have
Super
any
Bowl.
sweets.
It's all a load of rubbish, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll give Mark's dulcet tones a rest momentarily. We'll go for our Saturday roundup, the non-televised 3 p.m. games. I'll read out the prices from Paddy Power and the boys will tell us what will happen. The first game couldn't be closer. 17-10 Brighton, 17-10 Leicester, 21-10 the draw. Ian Wilkerson.
Yeah, I think the 21-10 to the draw is a good option. I like Brighton have won their last 3 at home, but Leicester have been quite impressive over the last couple of months, and they've only failed to score in 3 of their away games. That would suggest perhaps that it's not going to. When you go for a draw, sometimes people think that there's not going to be a lot of action and it'll be a low-scoring encounter. But I still think the draw's a big runner. I find it difficult to separate the two teams.
Mark?
Brighton draw no bet. I do think the draw's a runner, but only City, Liverpool, and Chelsea have won at the Amex this season, and Brighton very good at home.
Okay, it's 1-5 Man U, 5-1 the draw, 13-1 Swansea. Wilco.
Swansea have lost 1 in their last 8, so they've started to claw away, but away form's not been great. 1 away win in 13 doesn't sort of like rattle my boat much. United have been a lot stronger at home this year, and Lukaku's looked a lot stronger in the last few weeks as well. So 4-1 for him to score 2 or more goals.
Righto, Lango?
Oh, United to win to 0. I've been against Swansea in recent weeks. I thought they were hopeless in that FA Cup game. They haven't got that much up front. United to win to 0.
Newcastle are 8-11 to beat Huddersfield. It's 5-2 the draw. It's 4-1 Huddersfield. A very important relegation clash this, because both teams will kind of feel if they can get the job done here, Wilco, they can pull away and relax a little. How do you think this will pan out?
Yeah, I'm beginning to fear for Huddersfield a little bit. They're just running out of steam. 2 wins in their last 13 matches, and they've only scored in 3 of their last 10 games. So Newcastle have won their last 2 after having at home after having a terrible run. I think they'll get over the line.
Bob Fleming?
Yeah, Newcastle to win this one, Bruce. Quite confident actually. Huddersfield have only scored in 4 away games this season, and Newcastle I think are playing quite well.
8-11 does it for you. Okay. At Vicarage Road, it's Watford versus Bournemouth, 13-10. Watford 23-10 the draw, 2-1 Bournemouth. Wilco, what will happen here?
Watford have had a couple of home wins against West Brom and Everton, and not greatly impressed in either of them. Bournemouth have not been great on the road apart from their win at Chelsea. That's their only one that they've won in their last 9. But they were positive. They got off to a really good start against Spurs and rattled them at their own place. 5 of those games, 5 of those 9 on the road were draws. So I'll just give them a bit of a poke on the draw no bet at 6-5.
Bournemouth draw no bet. Okay, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go for a Watford win, Bruce. I mean, Wilco mentioned those games of a similar calibre of opponent to Bournemouth in Everton and West Brom. Bournemouth actually on expected goals, bottom of the Premier League. So they've got a bit to find on the stats, and I haven't been that impressed with them in recent weeks in terms of their defending. I think that is a big problem. I'll go for a home win.
I was amazed about that, Bournemouth being bottom of the XG, I've got to say. Okay, West Brom versus Burnley. West Brom are 6-4. It's 2-1 the draw. It's 2-1 Burnley. Ian Wilkerson, give us a tip.
Yeah, I'm all over Burnley for this one. I think West Brom are gone. I'm really impressed with. I like Burnley's approach of playing with 2 big centre forwards. It's quite, it just proves that there's more than one way to skin a cat. And
we did it for 100 years, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it can't be that wrong, can it? But yeah, I've really enjoyed the way that Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood have been linking up. I think they could make for a really difficult afternoon for Alan Pardew and his team. So Burnley 2-1.
Do you concur, Mark?
Yeah, I don't think I could back West Brom. 7 straight defeats, and they just find ways to drop points. Really, I was looking more towards the draw angle. So I mean, Ashley Barnes. I mean, he was being linked with Chelsea and everybody laughed, but actually he's doing really well, isn't he? So draw in this one.
And finally, West Ham versus Southampton. How much would you need to be paid to be a steward at this one? I would not fancy that. I mean, seriously, you look at how toxic the atmosphere was last time. If Southampton score first here, I'd dread to think what will happen. 9-5 the draw, 21-10, 8-5 Southampton. It's very close. How do you see it turning out, Wilco?
Well, for all West Ham's problems, and they're multiple. They've lost 2 of their last 9 games at home, which I found quite surprising. I think if they go for it, get off to a good start, confident they can turn it round in this match. I've not been particularly impressed with Southampton, not particularly enthused by the appointment of Mark Hughes. 17-10 West Ham, I think they're just worth a chance.
Lango even.
I'm going to go completely. I've not even looked at the stats for this game. I'm going completely on feel, and I feel that if Southampton score early, and Wilco's talking about the positives if West Ham start well. If Southampton score early, this could be absolute chaos, couldn't it?
Yeah,
at the London Stadium.
It
so
could.
rather than, I'm going to go for Southampton half-time, full-time, because I think it's the type of, if they get in front, I just don't see how West Ham come back into the game, because keeping everybody off the pitch won't be easy. The fans are going to be targeting the players, the ball. They've been to Miami on warm weather training / holiday. Interesting that Andy Carroll was fit enough to make that trip despite being out for a couple of months. There's nothing really to say about this game from a stats point of view that you can sort of say, oh yeah, well this is why Southampton will do it.
It breaks out of that, doesn't it?
It does, and it's just it's one of those games where something crazy could happen. Really,
it is very difficult to be very positive about any outcome in the game because there's so many outlying factors.
I think if Southampton are in front, I'm not sure I'd be buying injury time. Okay, all done. Let's get the naps.
This will not be beaten.
I'm going to stick in the Premier League for mine. I'm going to echo what Wilco said. I think 2-1 Burnley is a massive price. I hope I'm wrong because I've backed Man City for the handicap and pesky Burnley just won't go away. But I think that 2-1 looks a big price. Lango?
My game's on Good Friday, as most of the Football League is this weekend, Bruce. Coventry, unbeaten in 6. They go to Newport, who've won 1 in their last 10 since that trip to Wembley. All gone wrong. They're missing their captain as well. Coventry, on-shot stats have been right up there all season. They're finally getting it together. Really like them, draw no bet.
Cov for Mark. Who for you, Wilco?
Well, I was going to put up Burnley, but because we like to give our people a treble, I'll go with Newcastle at 8-11 to beat Huddersfield. The Terriers are in big trouble. I think we're going to see them continue to slide in the next few weeks.
Lovely stuff. Competition time every week. We give you the chance to win a free £25 or €25 bet courtesy of Paddy Power. All you've got to do is answer the upcoming question correctly and tweet your answer with the hashtag Postcast. The winner will have the free bet credited to their Paddy Power account. Well done to Matt from Belfast. You were last week's winner. Good luck with your free bet. If you want to be this week's winner, just answer this question. Who scored for England at Wembley on Tuesday night? We will announce the winner on next week's show.